Well, good morning. This is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. I just ended up coming back from Ray's nursery today, and I purchased some sweet potato slips. And so I wanted to share some tips and ideas with you today on how to plant sweet potato slips in your vegetable garden. So thanks for joining me today. So before we start planting these out in the garden, I just wanted to take a minute here and talk to you about these sweet potato slips. Now I ended up buying these at Ray's nursery, and if you buy 10 or more, they're 15 cents a piece, and so otherwise they're 20 cents a piece. But you know, considering these sweet potatoes slips are going to produce anywhere from 3 to 5 pounds around their potatoes, you know, that's really a good buy. So let's just take a minute here and read about some sweet potatoes. Unlike regular potatoes, which grow best when the soil is cool, sweet potatoes like it hot. They are tropical plants that are very sensitive to cold weather. In warm climates, many gardeners plant sweet potatoes about a month after the last spring frost, when both the air and soil are dependably warm. The plants produce lush vines that make a pretty ground cover. So you do want to make sure you have plenty of space for these sweet potato plants to vine out. And then sweet potatoes grow best in well-drained, sandy loamy soil with a pH of about 6.5. Plant out as soon as danger of frost is past and soil temperature is at least 60 degrees. And so you definitely want to make sure, you know, the temperature outside is nice and warm, and even the soil in your garden. In cold regions, black plastic may help to warm the soil and is recommended. You plant slips 3 to 4 inches deep in raised beds, which is what I'm going to be doing here, 10 to 18 inches apart, and in rows about 36 to 60 inch apart. And keep well irrigated until plants are established. I'm going to be planting mine in my composted leaf mulch amended with topsoil. And then your harvest and storage sweet potatoes need to be cured to be the sweetest. Clean them dry and not wet. After harvesting, brush soil from potatoes, but don't wash them. Sweet potatoes that cure for several weeks in cool storage will taste the sweetest. Sweet potatoes are usually ready to harvest just as the ends of the vines begin to turn yellow, or just before the frost in the north. So anyhow, let's start planting these out in the garden. So just to give you an idea where I'm going to be planting these sweet potato slips, I'm going to be planting them in the 4 foot by 8 foot section, right where the lawn cart is sitting on top of the soil. These sweet potato slips, I end up getting 10 of each variety, and this is basically what they look like. And so you're going to want to separate these and plant these about, you know, 4 inches, maybe 5 inches deep, depending on the length of your slip here. And so I'm going to take my garden fork here and work it through my soil here. Again, I'm planting these in my composted leaf mulch amended with topsoil. So you want to work it through your whole bed. Make sure the soil's nice and loose, because you want these roots to be able to spread out real nice and far to take up all the nutrients in your soil. So work through your bed and make sure it's nice and loose. This fork is 12 inches long, so you can see it goes in nice and deep. So now that the soil is nice and prepared, it's nice and loose, you know, I have like a story pole here that I took, like a 1x3, it's 2.5 inches by about 7 feet, and I marked them every 10 inches. And it's nice to have these type of poles around in your garden, you know, different ones with different measurements. You know, say you want to plant peppers 2 feet apart, or tomatoes 3 feet, you know, you have different poles marked out at different lengths. It really makes it nice and quick and easy. But what I'm going to do here, you know, I have the 1 row of yams planted here, and then I'm going to come in about 10 inches to a foot, and then just rock back and forth with my pole here, kind of just so it leaves a mark there in the soil, and then just lay this stick on top of the soil so it'll mark. The mark is there, or measurement is there already. And so again, I measured, put a Sharpie took a Sharpie and made a mark every 10 inches apart. And then you just gently want to take these rooted potato slips and just dig a hole with them. You can use a hand trowel, or again, my soil's so loose, I'm just going to take my hand and dig a hole. And again, you're burying these about 4 inches deep or more. Depends on the length of your potato slip. And like I said before, this is my first time planting these, so I'm kind of excited about planting sweet potatoes in our garden. You know, soil preparation's all the hard work. Once you get that done, it's, you know, the planting is really the easy part. And so I just have a few more to do here. So that pretty much does it for planting them. And what I'm going to do is take my watering can, and you just want to keep an eye on, you know, keep them well watered. Again, sweet potatoes, they love warm temperatures. So as you can see, planting these sweet potato slips is pretty simple. It's not anything difficult. You know, again, most of the prep work is in preparing the soils for your plants. And so if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the section below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so you can receive future videos. So anyhow, I want to thank you for joining me out here in the garden today, and I just hope you have a wonderful day. So until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.